What's up, fam? This is Andrew Radillo back with another episode of Mr. Radillo's World. I'm going to just come back to you, talk about several different topics, kind of an amalgam of different things. The first one is kind of a life update. I got a job back at my alma mater, Henderson State University, where I will be an administrative specialist for the housing development. It's a receptionist job at the current moment. I don't know. I don't want to be there long term, and I kind of told them that. But there may be other jobs opening up with the school that I may be able to do, and I may be able to adjunct. So if I adjunct while I'm doing the position, it may be really cool. So it's an 8 to 5 position, but kind of a cool experience. I'm back into the labor field. Haven't actually officially started yet. Sorry about that. I'll start next week. Going there Thursday for like an update interview type situation. But yeah, it's been really exciting. It was a really cool process. It just came out of the blue. Like, God was totally taking care of me, if you know what I'm saying. He basically, like, I wasn't stressed out about it because I've been struggling, not necessarily to find work, but like to find that right career path in a sense. Like, I've had different jobs. I was a teacher at COS. I worked at Quia Delta and Visalia, which was a good learning experience. But like, I was doing youth pastoring. I was doing all these different things. I started my own business, sold the business. Didn't make tons of money on that sale, but I sold a business, so I got through that process. But it's been a really cool thing, and maybe this is like the next step. I really love to podcast for a living. I mean, maybe I can get to that point. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Like, I'm not. God's taking care of me. I've been really like worried about it. Like, but then I just kind of put my trust in Him and just kept moving forward and just taking my time applying for different jobs. Just applying for jobs and learning and then it just popped up, and I got an interview, did the interview, and it was like seamless and easy. So like, here we go. We'll start that job next week. It's pretty exciting. Okay, I want to talk a couple of topics about. First is reading comments, what you can believe, especially on social media, and then I'm going to give a sports update for the Raiders. And maybe the Warriors. I haven't been watching this season very much. I've just been, and baseball's about to start, and I just kind of haven't been watching baseball and basketball. But I am locked into the off season of the Raiders, so I'll give them a little exciting update for the Raiders kind of thing. So let's start into reading comments. So this is kind of gonna go somewhere, I think. I read comments a lot. Not my own comments, like I don't care. Like, or I try to comment. I don't get a lot of comments, so I don't really read them that much. But I'm talking about like on a post, like funny different like posts that post, and then you just go down and you read the comments. There's a lot of funny people in the world. Then there's like the ones like the theology ones, and people are like debating in there. Like I don't engage much. I engage sorta. But some of those comments, like, they get you all riled up. Like, and I want to, like, go after. But see, the problem is typing is, like, exhausting. And that sounds like it's exhausting. No, it's not like you're laying steel for the railroad, right? It's not like that type of exhausting. But it's just, like, I think about, like, interactions, right? Let's say I really want to argue with some people sometimes, right? But then it's like, what does that do me? Right? For any good. I want to sit there and debate with them, but like, they're not going to change their mind off of a comment. You think about that? Like sometimes you're just arguing with nothing, and then they'll pull up all these random things that you can't necessarily verify, right? So you're just arguing with a random person about randomness. But some of the things that gets my blood boiling is the lack of patrioticness in our comments, that we just allow these countries, people from all these countries, to come on our American posts and slam America. Okay, that's one thing that is a pet peeve of mine, and I will not allow. Okay, you can't be slamming America when we are the reason we have most modern things, right? You can't be slamming America when the reason a lot of these countries still exist after the world wars was because we got into them. Okay, sorry, not trying to blast other countries, right? Not trying to be rude to other countries. But like, where do they get off? Where do they get off thinking that they can talk junk about America? Like, I can talk junk about America. Like, I can say America may not be the greatest country in the world, but I'm going to act like it is because I love America, right? But where do these people get off saying that, like, we suck at everything? How dare they? And then, like, this is what the younger kids will all say about America. And trust me, like, it's been infected into me at some points, too, from our different school ideas and popular culture, that America is great. I don't know if it's better than other countries. I just know that we can buy a gun if we want to, right? But, like, come on, stop talking junk that America sucks. Because America's dope. If you like your country, so what? It doesn't have to be better than mine. I mean, prove it. Win a world war and talk to me about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. Anyways, I've been thinking about these comments and I got a little tangent there. It's like, when to post and when not to post on your comments. You know what I mean? On different people's comments. Because it's like, you don't know how many times I've wrote replies or I posted a Twitter or something like that because, like, people are wrong, right? But it's like, your comment's not going to do anything. You're going to be sitting there researching for hours to come back and forth at people that you may not be having any impact. It may not even be real anymore. That could be an AI bot that's just chatting and commenting on stupid things. So it's like you may be arguing literally with yourself. So it's like I have to take time to say, hey, put down the phone, delete what you said, take a deep breath. Now, if it's humor and it's you're adding on to the thing and you're trying to be funny, like I vibe. Like, do it. You know what I mean? But like if you're trying to blast someone all the time, like, look at the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people can do things that you can, right? I think that's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older is, like, I know what I can do. I know what I can't do, right? And I don't need everyone else to know what I can and can't do. And I don't need to disprove what someone else can and cannot do, right? So it's like, be comfortable in who you are, who God has created you to be, right? And just live your life. Right? Be obedient to God. Do your thing. Stop worrying about everyone else. And your life will be so much simpler. Don't put that comment. Matter of fact, don't put all your information on Facebook. Don't put it on Twitter. Walk in silence, right? Let some things work out between you and God and you, for those you that love you. Do you see that? Anyways, okay. So then I got to, let's go to this next subject, because it's sort of related, but it's not. It's like, there's all these things that people post, but what do you believe? Like, what can you believe? What in media, in legacy media, in new media, what is actual factual? How do you determine? Is there something that we can actually say that this is factual? For me, outside the Bible, right, nothing else you can say that about, right? And if you disagree with me, that's fine, whatever. For me, like, the reason we have moral truth is because of God, right? And I'm not even getting super philosophical. I'm just talking about, there's all these stories, these articles, these things that people post, and these conspiracy theories that I sometimes I find myself walking down and believing. Like, I don't know what's true and what's not, right? I don't know if the thing with Diddy is actually real, right? The only thing I can hang my hat on is Jesus Christ, right? I don't know if all these things they're saying about all these different preachers or people that are going to Diddy's parties are true. Like, I don't know about that. All I know is the truth of Christ, right? But I seem to start to believe it because more and more people post about it. And then I was thinking about, what if that's the purpose? What, like, not saying that Diddy didn't do it, because it looks like he did it, right? But what if the purpose for all of this is really just to get us to go down one rabbit trail after another, right? I think about the news. The news, I feel like at one point in time, maybe it never did. The whole point of it is to get more eyeballs on it, right? Is to continuously make money, right? So they want more and more people to watch it. This is what the old media did, and then they would create narratives and stories that led to where we're at today, where you can't even really trust them. But if you think about it, the new media today too, are we even sure that that's real, right? Because they're kind of doing the same thing, looking for views to people to watch them, right? Ironic, I'm doing the same thing, right? But I don't know. I tend to be a logical person, and I tend to take in information, but at times, like I don't trust the information right away. What I tend to do is I tend to say, okay, that may be true. That's something I've heard. I'm going to kind of take in that information. I am going to see what other people think that I trust about it. Do a little research. I'm not going to go deep, right? And find essays and things of that nature about this specific topic. Like the Diddy thing example. I'm not going to go to police logs. I'm not going to go find like different sources with people that were close to the situation. Because it could very well be government tied. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, they won't release the Epstein list, right? You think they're going to tell us what Diddy's going on? Like the people in power or the people in control or whoever it is, or if it's nothing, it just may be coincidences, right? I don't know what to believe. Now, on top of that, we're playing with this new technology of AI, right? Now this AI is starting to run wild a little bit to where we can't even hardly distinguish images and videos of different things that are going on. And soon you're going to get to a point to where you can't listen to anything and trust it, right? You can't see anything and trust it. You can't hear anything and trust it, right? Soon you're going to be skeptical of everything, right? And I say all this to say, remember truth, right? And for me, that Bible, the foundation of not only my life, but our society, is that truth from the Bible, right? AI can't do anything to change that. We have too many copies of historical documents. We have too many things that they can't change, right? In the future and things of nature, you have to do what you feel like you have to do, right? These are your choices that you're making. For me, this is my choice and something I'm choosing to stand firm on, right? And the reason I stand firm on that is when the waves come, right? When rocky storms come, when things come, I know my foundation is built on stone. The stone, Jesus Christ, right? It's not built on sand, so it's not built on a flimsy foundation so that if troubles come or things come at me or things are panicking, like I can stand firm. I can stand firm. My foundation isn't going to fall apart, and I'm not going to fall apart, right? So what you believe matters, right? Whether you believe what I believe, I encourage you to. I encourage you to do research for yourself, study Jesus Christ, go through the scriptures, read the Bible, right? I encourage you to do that. But if you don't, right, and you don't listen to me, that's fine. Like, you're your own person. You're choosing what you want to do. Ultimately, those choices will lead to consequences. This is life. Anything I do in life, maybe if I do things good, I do things bad, there are reactions to those choices, right? So regardless of what you're doing, right? Regardless, there's going to be a reaction to what you've done, right? So in this world of what can you believe and crazy comments, right? Why would you not want something firm that you can trust? Because there's so much noise. There's so much stuff coming at us every single day, and we enable it because we have one of these in our hands, right? We have one of these in our hands, right? And we can't let it go because we're kind of addicts, if you really think about it. We get a high from people wanting to talk to us, wanting to get a notification. Like, they built these social media apps, they built these phones to be addictive. They built them to fulfill dopamine hits in your brain so that you keep coming back to them, right? And they did that because they wanted to sell more and more products. They wanted to sell more and more phones, right? And good for them. Good for them. Right? But if you're basing all of your truth from something you've read from here, right? Something you've read from someone, the media, that's trying to rile you up to outrage, right? We're coming into an election year, right? Okay. Election years are crazy. And I didn't really recognize this the last couple of election years. Because I've always been the person that, like, politics are not my thing, right? Not saying you shouldn't vote for how you believe you should. For me, I have too much bandwidth to listen to all the outside noise. You know what I mean? I don't have enough of bandwidth, so excuse me. Because it's just so much noise, I just can't focus on it, right? But we're about to be in a crazy year where more and more craziness is about to happen, right? It'll get even crazier as we get closer to November, right? So, you're going to hear crazy things, you're going to see crazy things, and they may be true, but they may not, right? One thing I do know for fact is truth is the Word of God, the Bible, right? So stand firm on that so you're not tossed back and forth from different things here on earth. Yeah, okay. Little mini sermonette there. Okay. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down and the steam rose and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like the foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. Okay? This was Matthew 7:24 through 27, right? If you read the Bible and you don't believe in Jesus, read it for its wisdom, right? And honestly, I challenge you. I challenge you to actively read it. Read it with an open mind and literally just read the Word, right? And see what impact it can have in your life. Okay? All right. My mini sermonette out of the way again. Thank you for listening. But we're going to move into sports. Okay. Okay, we're moving to sports. All right. Because I want to give a little Raiders update after I got through that triad of different things that I'm focusing on. But if you think about, excuse me, I don't know if I'm recording right now anymore. Oh, no, I'm still recording. I'll edit that out. Anyways, Raiders. Okay, so we've done some things in free agencies. We added a D tackle. I forgot his name. Raiders. He was out of Clemson. It is Christian Wilkinson. Excuse me. So he's added to the line. We actually signed some other D tackles that were on our team last year. We've yet to sign a cornerback. We lost a cornerback. We also lost Josh Jacobs, which super sad because I really wanted Josh Jacobs to stay. It didn't seem like Josh Jacobs wanted to work it out and take a home team discount. He wanted to get the most he possibly could, which I understand. Makes the most sense, right? If I played in the NFL, I want the most money I could, right? Because it's a job. But it is sad because I really love Jacobs. Like, I think he's a Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame running back, honestly. So losing him was tough. Not as tough as Khalil Mack, obviously, but it was tough. What else did we do? So we added a quarterback in Gardner Minshew. I don't think he's the long-term future at quarterback. So I think we're going to go ahead and look for the draft. I don't know if we're moving up in the draft. I would love to because I'd love them to grab Jaden Daniels. I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan. I just don't like his vibe. I don't like his energy. For me, he's not the quarterback for me. Okay, Jaden Daniels to me seems like the quarterback that I would want for the Raiders. But okay, we have the 13th pick in the draft, right? So we have to move up to number 2 probably to get it from Washington. And they're just not going to give it up. It's going to be astronomical. And the Bears aren't going to give up number one. There's a possibility for the Patriots, I've read and heard, but we'll see if they make that deal. Because there is a possibility that Jaden McDaniels falls to 3 because Washington loves Drake May. But who knows? Also, Patriots could take J.J. McCarthy. There's another quarterback that I think we probably will end up taking at 13 is Michael Penix Jr. I've been watching some different game film of him and highlights and things of that nature, and I like him. I mean, left-handed quarterbacks to me aren't. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just odd. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school for that. But I would take him in a heartbeat, right? I think we're going to add one in the draft, and even Antonio Pierce has said we're going to add him in the draft. But I would love for them to make giant splash moves. But they've already with signing one of the most sought after D tackles this offseason. But we still need more defensive stuff. We need a cornerback, and we need some more. I think even another D tackle would be great. Maybe another linebacker. Because I'm the type that loves defense. I love defense. And I hate that the NFL is leaning away from defense and pushing more offense. They're doing that because they're attached with gambling and things of that nature, and they want people to. It's a $1 billion industry, so they want people to continue to gamble on their sports. So they want the most high impact entertainment that they can. But for me, I want them to bring back fear over the middle. I want someone to get laid out. I love football because it's physical. I like people getting broken in half, right? You can't really say that now today because people get all offended at you because you want you're saying you want someone to get hurt. I don't want someone to get hurt. I just want them to have fear when they walk over the middle of the field, right? I was talking about someone about this that Mahomes, because they're talking about Mahomes being the greatest quarterback to ever live. It's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady for sure. But if you really think about it, Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes both benefited, Tom in his later career, from the softness of the NFL on hitting the quarterbacks, right? Because back in the day, they used to lay those quarterbacks out. It was almost like they were literally committing assault, which was fantastic. I loved it, right? But now it's you gotta lay them down to sleep when you tackle them, right? If you put your body weight on them, it's not. So it's this hype about Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he's a good quarterback, but really, if he had to play in old NFL, I don't think he would be as dominant, right? For one, he would get laid out, and he would have to deal with that pain, and that would put fear in him, and you wouldn't be able to let it fly as much as he does now, right? Not only, and I'm biased, right? Because I'm a Raiders fan, and I hate Patrick Mahomes. Not as a person, as a football player. I hate his guts. As a football player, I don't know him as a person, but I do love him in Christ and kind of thing. But as a football player, honestly, he's just so arrogant. He thinks he's that good when you can't even hit him. If you could hit him and he was doing all that stuff, bro, I'd be hats off. He's still a great player. He still kicks our butt a lot. I understand those things. But it doesn't mean I have to necessarily like him or promote that he's the greatest. No. Can we not recognize how soft the NFL has gotten? If we can't recognize that, what are we even doing? It's and people in sports say you can't compare eras. It's sports. Of course you can. You can do what you want, right? But this is why the debate in football is vastly different than the debate in basketball, right? Our GOAT debate, it's hard to be the GOAT in today than it is back in the day, right? Tom Brady came at a perfect time. He felt the old style when they didn't make mass changes, but then he benefited from all those different changes of rules and things of that nature. So for me, he is the GOAT, right? He has the most Super Bowls for sure. And he just has that mentality that he's the greatest, right? And I get having confidence. I get Patrick Mahomes doing his thing. But I feel the NFL really protects Patrick Mahomes. And yes, they did Brady because we all know the Tuck rule, right? That was orchestrated by the NFL for sure. We all know this, right? But definitely Patrick Mahomes is benefiting so much from the softness, right? Like we'll see about this year because we're gonna have more physicality in defense. Like, and people are getting upset because where they're saying that we're gonna be like hurting and trying to be dirty. No, like you can be physical without trying to hurt people, right? Like your goal is to tackle them. That is the name of the game of football, right? In the great words of Al Davis, the quarterback must go down and go down often. Or early. One of those two. I can't remember the full quote. So don't quote me on them. But I'm pumped for football season. I'm pumped for the draft that's coming up soon in April. But then I'm going to also talk about like the Warriors. Like the Warriors are currently 10th. So I will watch the playoffs. I have a hard time watching regular season NBA. And people will probably say I'm casual, and that's fine. Whatever. To me, it's just like they don't. There's no effort. They don't care. They care more about playoffs, right? Which is fine, super fine for me. But then why? Like I don't know why you're having like an 80-game season if you don't even care about it. Like this is why Michael Jordan will always be the greatest basketball player for me, because that dude played almost every single game, and he played it like it was the last game he was ever going to play. Right? This is why I love Kobe, because he had that same mentality. This is why I hate LeBron. Like, I hate LeBron, not that I can't recognize that he's great. It's just that he's just kind of like this. He's my generation's like mentality of like we're not gonna try our hardest until it matters. That's my generation's mentality, and it's just like I don't want to watch that, right? I want to watch greatness every single day. I don't want to watch someone create a media campaign of why I'm the GOAT. I want them to show me with their effort, with how they play the game, with their mentality, right? This is why LeBron will never be the GOAT for me. And for all these little kids that keep saying that he's the greatest, no, he's not. He's not. He'll be number 2. That's fine. He's going for number 2. That's fine. He's getting all these stats, these next stats. Well, he's playing forever, right? And off topic here. Let's get into the medicals, right? Let's publish all of his medicals, okay? Let's publish all the medicals of all the athletes. And let's see who's actually being real, who isn't having a surgery in some type of different country that's using very experimental treatments, right, to have longevity in their career, right? Who cares? Who cares about that? I'm just being me. All right, and last thing I'm talking about baseball. Like I haven't enjoyed baseball as much. I don't know why. I feel like baseball was one of my first loves. Like I played it as a kid. I enjoyed it. Like I was all about baseball. I watched it consistently. Never missed a game type thing. But then I moved and I didn't have the ability to watch baseball unless I subscribed to the MLB season ticket type thing. And even with that, like there's games that are blacked out and things of that nature. Now they do a new thing where you can buy one team, which is cool. Like they didn't have that option when I was away in college and things of that nature. I think it's just harder to keep up with it. And there's so many games, and not that it should be cut. And I've seen that they've done things to change it. I don't know. My interest has just kind of waned. It maybe stemmed from like going. I don't even know. I can't even say that accurately because I don't know why it changed. But I may try to get into it more this season and just force myself to do it. But then that sounds boring. That sounds real boring. Maybe I'll go to a Texas Rangers game when they're playing the Giants because I'm a Giants fan. Still will be a Giants fan regardless. I don't rock any gear very much anymore, but I feel like I'm still a Giants fan. I don't know. There's still beauty in the game. I don't really care as much about the stats and everything as much anymore. And I feel like we don't care about that anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm in the minority and everyone still loves how baseball is and everything, but maybe I'm just not that person anymore, which is fine because I'll watch a game. I know about baseball. I know about the rules and things of that nature. But for me, I've lost interest, and I don't know what's going to change that. I don't know. But anyways, that's kind of been my sports update for today. It's just my opinion, no facts. We can argue here. I don't have all the facts and figures. I'd love to do a sports show with someone. If someone wants to come on and we'll debate sports, that would be amazing. But if not, I mean, that's cool. This has been another episode of Mr. Radio's World. I appreciate you. Have a great day and get some rest.